Alright, hello everyone. To another stream of Eden's Garden. Let's continue right where we left off yesterday. Where we found out that Wolfgang died. And now, the investigation has just begun. Alright. Let's take a closer look at this blood. There was blood speckled across the floor. I didn't notice it at first, due to the room's restricted lighting. But now after my eyes had time to adjust, it couldn't be more obvious.
I see.
Looks like it passes into the hallway too. I completely missed these during the blackout. Speaking of, after the body discovery announcement, everyone barged into the boiler room through this door. Yet these blood spots don't look smudged. I'm guessing they were already dry by the time any of us got here, in which case... Could this be Wolfgang's blood? Blood spots has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Good. Winona? Alibi? Winona, you're still here?
Seriously?
Is there a problem with that? Why does she need to frame everything I say in the worst light? I'm preparing to hold a one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting him about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that?
It's simple.
The blackout. Were you still with Ulysses when it happened?
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no power outage. Huh? You can't be serious. That blackout affected the entire building, unless...
Anyways.
Let me rephrase. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At KCD's game tournament at the dining hall.
Oh, really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Let me see.
Ulysses and I spent this morning by the large tree. We stayed there up to and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Sounded like she had an alibi then. For the location she mentioned, I assumed this entire building complex connected to the one generator. But it made more sense for that tree area to have its own separate system. That's why it didn't lose power. How about the courtyard though? Was anyone there at the time of the blackout? Blackout has been added to the truth bullet section of your Tozu trinket. Okay, I'm not gonna be repeating that line every time it shows up. Aren't you going to investigate Wolfgang? Me?
Yeah.
Who else? Back when we mistook that dummy for a body, you poked it pretty nonchalantly.
Hang on.
That's different. I never thought it was real.
I see.
Now that we were finally advancing in the investigation, her cool composure had all but vanished. Typical, I guess. She can only keep up an act for so long.
Terrible.
The generator over there is partially submerged in the water. I think it would be wise to stay on this platform. Is she worried about the water being electrified? Eva and I managed to stand in it way back when. I don't see why now would be any different. Then again, the generator wasn't damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang is kneeling in the water, we should avoid touching him.
No.
We don't know for sure if the water is unsafe.
Listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Like that, Eva walked over to a pile of boxes and pulled out a light bulb. Oh, I see what you're doing. Sure enough, Eva went straight to the edge of the platform and threw the light bulb into the water. Howdy, good evening. Hey guys. Hello Retro. Hello Balmont. Doing pretty well. Just started. I'm very excited to see where this goes next. Very excited for the trial. Still in shock that Wolfgang died.
Look.
See, it's not lighting up. That means the water is safe.
Well,
Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang.
Okay.
Are you going to? I think I will observe from afar instead. Now isn't the time to be listening to your nerves. Oh yeah, his sprite has moved.
Aye.
Oi, take a whiff of the air. Ain't there something off about it? Followed his instructions and sniffed the air.
That's...
It smells like burnt rubber. It smells like burnt
That
rubber.
ain't it.
Because of the busted generator, yeah. But that's not what I'm talking about. There is another scent, a real bitter one. You might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal and rubbing alcohol?
Bad news.
Indeed. I was expecting a mighty chemical reaction at work.
Eh?
I've had my fair share of travels across the sea, and I'm no stranger to foul play. There's no stench worse than one of a disastrous combustion.
It is how it is.
Thing is, I got no idea where it's coming from. I think the smell is supposedly that of a chemical reaction. Where else could it be coming from besides the busted generator? Unless Jean's conclusion about the smell is wrong? I wouldn't put it past him. Odd smell has been added to Truth Bullet's section of your Tozy Trinket. It's like vodka and Fruit Loops. Such a cute graphic. Okay. Let's investigate some of the things in this room. Taser gun? Pretty random thing to be lying around the crime scene. Definitely wasn't in the boiler room prior to the murder either. Did that mean this taser gun was involved in the murder? On closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Had it even been used? I'm pretty sure taser guns dispense some kind of wire when fired. Nearby was some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor. They were the same shade of yellow as the taser gun. Had these originally been attached to it? Can't tell whether they would fit on the gun though. Never mind. What's the point in making guesses when I can just get him to confirm? After all, someone who's a pro at wielding guns should know better than anyone else. Taser gun. Okay. I'll inspect the rest of the scene first, before I go near his body. Bro is stalling. Half of the generator's internals had melted away, and what still remained was almost completely singed. Yeah, this is definitely the cause of the power outage. What could have melted the wires though? It looked like a bomb had gone off in there.
That's...
Now that I think about it, during the game tournament, taking a deep breath, I steadied my grip on the controller and pushed both joysticks as hard as I could. Kaboom! Huh? All of a sudden, the world around me turned pitch black. There had been a loud boom right before the blackout happened. Similar to a firework going off, or someone firing a gun.
That's...
Did I overhear the sound of the generator being destroyed? Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that kind of noise, I don't think. Okay. I think there's definitely a way you can use the taser to fry it. That's what I'm thinking for now, at least. My assumption is correct. The generator would have been destroyed around the same time the murder was committed. That's suspicious as hell. There's no way two events aren't connected. No, there's definitely no way they aren't connected. But I'm also working purely off my memory of the boom. To be absolutely sure, I need to know when exactly the blackout occurred. Was there any way for me to find out? Maybe someone knows. Or maybe there's the clock in the janitor's closet, right? Maybe that's frozen or something. Okay, is there anything else to investigate? Oh, there's a knife. Sneaky. Oh, there's some sharpener too. Chunks of something red were floating nearby the generator. It almost looked like metal or maybe plastic. But it is originally part of the generator. The colors and materials don't seem to match though. Oh, I have no idea what this is. No, I actually wanted to look at the knife. A knife. Why was the knife floating in the water? On the blade and in the surrounding water, I could make something out. The unmistakable color of blood. There's no doubt about it, this knife must have something to do with the murder. Why the knife was here and not actually on the platform, I had no idea. Okay, is there anything else that we haven't looked at?
Hi.
Why did you move over here? It's
The struggle.
I feel it is highly important we investigate anything and everything we can. That is why I moved over to investigate. Like he didn't want to be near Wolfgang's body. What was the first for the investigation? Something other than fear appeared on Ulysses' face. It was curiosity.
Eh?
What is it? Look at the floor in front of the door.
That's...
This... Yes.
Seriously?
This is just a small piece of scrap metal.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still part of the crime scene. It necessitates documentation.
That's not important.
Seriously? Something this small means nothing. Oh no, this is... If Danganronpa has taught us anything, that will be like crucial to the whole thing. It could have come from the generator. The pipes above us. Ingrid could have been carrying it for all we know. This guy, there's so much here he could actually document, and instead he's focusing on some flimsy piece of metal. No more reason to rely on myself. And yet, it's still been added to the truth bullets. That seems like a hairpin, no? Let me look at it again. No. Okay, yeah. Wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is definitely a hairpin. Oh, there's more. Yeah, there's this wire here. Cord. Huh? There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. What the hell happened to the other end of it? There was no internal plug, just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the cord been burnt? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from some place else. One of the storage rooms, maybe. It wasn't always in this condition, that's for sure. All the items we've been provided with so far, light bulbs, speakers, a fridge, they work perfectly well. So what happened to this cord, and why was it even in the water? It could have come from the gaming setup? Alright, feels like I've given the boiler room a good rundown, which means... Just yesterday, Wolfgang was talking with us, eating breakfast with us. And now, he's dead. Who had the resolve to commit such a needlessly brutal murder? To go so far as to mangle his body? I couldn't unpack it. I didn't know how to. This wasn't just some dummy I had to investigate. This was a real person. It was so far out of my expertise, let alone my comfort zone. Do you want to inspect him? Holy crap. Did you really have to scare me like that? Yeah, I do want to inspect him. It's just the idea of getting close to him.
Where?
I'll investigate with you. It'll be easier for both of us that way. Right?
Right.
Wolfgang laid completely still, his face frozen in a look of horror. His once bright eyes were shrouded in darkness, and his mouth was open, as if he'd been killed mid-scream. Ava's expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his power to make us outcasts, and make the worst of us. At times, I even hated him for it. But this brought no relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in his final moments that left him so terrified? Was it the realization he was about to die? Mulling over the what-ifs won't bring me any closer to solving Wolfgang's murder. Right now, my focus should be to find the evidence, and that begins by investigating his body. Okay, let's look at his hand. The way Wolfgang was slumped over the platform, it almost looked like he'd fallen on top of it.
Focus.
Let me see if his palms are scratched. As I knelt down to take a closer look, trickling out from under the cuff of Wolfgang's sleeves and onto the rest of his hands. A strange injury that looked like a tree sapling? To read the screams electrocution? Oh, or burn mark. Was this a burn mark? When I looked at Wolfgang's other hand, I saw the same thing. Markings that seemed to extend down the arm.
The hell?
Eva, look at this.
Hello.
Let me see. Yeah, burn marks. That's really horrible. They look like gross little veins. What inflicted them?
That's...
There's a taser a little ways off from where we're standing, though I couldn't find anything to indicate it's been fired. So the only thing I can think of is the generator.
Is that really true?
Also, I was right about electrocution. Why the generator?
I know.
The thing has clearly been destroyed by something. Maybe Wolfgang got caught in that something, and that's how he died.
Not sure.
I'm not sure. The generator seems too far away from where Wolfgang is lying to cause burns like these.
Look at this.
Plus, the room's water isn't conductive, so electricity couldn't have traveled through it.
Right.
You're right. Anything able to melt the generator's wires would have burned his suit to a crisp too. Exactly.
Thinking.
I think Wolfgang received those burns outside the boiler room. There's just nothing here that could leave these markings. As for the actual place he got burned, I guess we'll have to try and find it ourselves. That is, if such a place even exists. While it's possible the generator may not have been involved with the murder, it seems unlikely that Wolfgang made a detour for the boiler room after being severely burned. After all, burns like his would definitely paralyze someone. As for Wolfgang's palms, they didn't have any markings on them. Still, he must have fallen somehow. Why else would he be lying on the platform? There didn't seem to be any strange markings on Wolfgang's face. However, along the back of his neck was a massive bruise. That looks like a really bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discolored. Right, how did he get this on the back of his neck? Nothing around it seems to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if it's a sign his body is decomposing?
That's...
Can a body really decompose this fast? It could, or it could not. It probably depends on the environment. As in the temperature? Correct. Cold places are generally better at preserving things than warm, humid areas like this boiler room.
Thinking.
Kind of like dairy products. That's a good comparison. A tone deaf one, but sure. Wolfgang didn't have this bruise yesterday, at the very least. If he did, it would have been super noticeable.
Fair.
Yeah, true. Bringing my attention back to Wolfgang, I called something else on his body. Near the mark on his neck, but not directly overlapping it. Red dot? Ah, I see. Wolfgang must have taken all the opioids directly into his neck. No other explanations exist. Is that a beauty mark? Doesn't look like it. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. Reminds me of a popped pimple. Sort of one you could easily inflict on yourself.
So,
Then you don't think this is related to the murder? It might not be,
There
but
must be something.
judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so we may as well keep it in mind. Alright, what about his body? Now that I think about it, the place where Wolfgang laid was odd. What are the chances that he would end up here, between the only opening of the fence? The one spot where he could kneel over like this. Is it possible he had been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? It's strange why he didn't use the stairs. Though, and even stranger that he was even in the water. Is there anything else we can... His blazer? Wolfgang's suit was completely crumpled, far cry from his once clean appearance. Water had seeped into the pants, completely ruining the fabric. As I leaned in close, I spotted a folded piece of paper sticking out from his back pocket. Though it was soaked, it wasn't completely destroyed.
Damn.
I really don't want to touch him, but... My thumb and index finger, I snatched the paper out of his pocket, taking care not to brush my hand against his body. I gingerly folded open the paper, aware that some of the wetter spots could fall apart immediately, and found a message written inside. That's some very ugly handwriting. Do you recognize it? A lot of the text is unreadable. Whoever wrote this probably used a low-quality pen, although... At the bottom of the page, fragments of a message were still visible. Secret, 8:15 AM, boiler room, close the door. Doesn't this read a lot like a command? It seems like someone wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here. No, guys. If you're invited to a secret meeting in a Danganronpa game, never go to it. What are you doing?
I see.
Could that someone be the
not
culprit?
sure.
8:15 AM. That's a long time before the time of death, though. Maybe there was a struggle, or maybe Wolfgang arrived
There
late.
must be something.
Either way, this message is definitely a valuable clue. It's our only insight into Wolfgang's movements before his death.
Well,
Well, now you really want to know where everyone was at that time. I woke up at 8:30 AM this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. It's only 35 minutes before the tournament. Basically, Jet, Mark, and I would have already been in the dining hall.
Right.
It's nice that we can 100% trust Ava. Like, there's no way she can be the culprit.
That's...
Right. As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 AM might be risky.
where?
Because they would wonder where we got the time from? Exactly, and I'd prefer to keep this note between the two of us. At least, for now. Suspicious note has been added.
Anyways,
Anyway, this thing about a secret, what do you think that
Yeah.
means? Well, I'm not really sure. It could be referring to anything. Anything, huh? You know what it means?
I know.
I have an idea. The author of this letter might be talking about Wolfgang's blackmail.
Huh.
Huh? If they claim to have it, they could have made him here without much issue. After all, Wolfgang asked us to meet with the person whose blackmail we had.
Strange.
But the relic boiler room is a pretty ominous place to meet with someone, though. It would have been Wolfgang's first time here, too. Assuming he didn't explore this floor
What
beforehand.
could it be?
Either he didn't see the super obvious danger in meeting here alone, or he did realize, just didn't care.
Right.
Right, does that change anything about what I said?
Hmm?
Well, duh. If Wolfgang knew the warning signs, his reason for coming might have less to do with
You
integrity
see,
and more to do with desperation.
Huh?
Desperation? You know the details of his blackmail.
See.
Would stand to reason.
hmm,
Ugh, if only Wolfgang had hidden this note somewhere safe instead of bringing it here. It would have been valuable evidence. I doubt you could have envisioned something like this happening. He was never really on his guard during this killing game, except around you and me, I guess. That seemed to be everything I could gather.
hello.
Hey, Davin, since we've inspected the boiler room, we should find the students who left and ask them for their testimonies.
Right.
They went upstairs to investigate Wolfgang's dorm, right? Yes, because of what I said earlier. The victim's last known whereabouts are the best place to search for clues.
Okay.
Alright, let's see what they've been up to. Apart from collecting testimonies, there were two other matters on my mind. One, getting Desmond to inspect the taser gun. And two, pinpointing exactly when the blackout occurred, in case it happened at the time of the murder. I walked over the boiler room door, which had been left slightly ajar. But as I began to pull it the rest of the way open, I noticed that the doorknob, something about it, looked different. Hey, Ava, the doorknob, I think it's been flipped. Flipped? Are you sure? Take a look for yourself. The first time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure this lock was on the inside, not the outside. What?
Is that really true?
Yeah, exactly, Ava. How would someone be able to flip a doorknob though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, probably. Okay, why didn't you say something earlier? What do you mean? This is the first time I've noticed it.
Is that really true?
Really? You didn't notice it back when you entered the boiler room with Kai? No, not even then. It might have been because of the darkness, or my own nerves. But back then I wasn't paying attention to small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room.
Anyways.
I know that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
It's okay. I mean, I probably would have noticed the doorknob had I been there, but that's besides the point. Wolfgang was the historian? No, Wolfgang was the lawyer. So, hold on, I can show you real quick. Yeah, there's Wolfgang, deceased. Oh, I truly wasn't expecting him to die, but here we are. Anyway, this discovery paints an interesting picture. Since the lock was now accessible from the hallway, you could technically lock the boiler room shut without ever stepping foot in it. Meaning that if you wanted to lock someone inside the boiler room, all you have to do is lure them in and close the door behind them. Okay, sure. But what
Moving on.
adventures does this get you? Like, sure, you've locked the door from the outside, and the victim can't escape, but they can still scream out into, like, the dining hall because of the vent. And there were people there in the dining hall at that time. I guess maybe it's possible that Wolfgang was poisoned and then left to die here. But still, I don't see what advantage, like, if it's a huge advantage to lock the door. Oh well. I'm sure that'll be cleared up as we go along. Come on, we need to collect other people's testimonies before the investigation ends. Right, let's go. Yep. A million questions rattled away my mind. I followed Ava out of the boiler room. Actually, Ava, before we go upstairs, it's probably worth checking out the storage closets first. Why?
I know.
I found something in the boiler room that might be related to them. Judging by the length, I think it's an extension cord. But what the hell happened to the other end of it? There's no internal plug, just a frayed tip lined with a black substance. Had the internal end been severed off, and the cord burned after? I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. One of the storage rooms, maybe. That extension cord, we should confirm it if it did indeed come from a storage closet. Okay,
However,
but first I want to talk to Cassidy.
Come again?
You want to talk to her? This is very intense music for a murder investigation. Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because normally Danganronpa just has like jazzy music playing as you're like investigating the corpse. Yes, I want to talk to her. Is that bad? Wasn't much help last
Well?
investigation. Well, any help is better than no help.
Fair.
Alright, I'll talk to Cassidy first, and then I'll investigate the storage closets on this door. Speaketh. Oh god, that's way too close. Casey was pacing around the hallway with a finger on her chin, seemingly doing nothing.
yo!
Oh, hey guys! Sorry for not noticing you sooner. I was performing a super sweep down of this hallway. Of this here hallway. That's a lot of words for wandering around aimlessly.
Listen to me.
Can you put your sweep down on hold? I have a really important question. Let's hear it. Just don't drag it on too long, okay? I gotta finish my sweep down before time's up.
You see?
You remember who attended the tournament? The gay tournament? Huh. Everyone who is slated... Oh god. Everyone who is slated to join kept their word. So we had a full house.
What about...
There were 8 people in total. Jed, Mark, Grace, Jean, Kai, and the 3 of us.
Huh?
Something on your mind? Well, since the murder happened in the boiler room,
Well,
wouldn't that mean everyone in the dining hall has an alibi? Imagine someone comes up to ask you about a murder and they walk right up to your face and just talk like that the entire time. Average cop intimidation tactic.
ooh.
Ooh, that's a really good point. Didn't even think of that. She's totally right. Really, Damon? Get it together. Also, since we split into pairs while investigating those rooms down the hall, every pairing can vouch for each other.
Right.
Right. We all split up. What were the groups again?
Yep.
Jed and I explored Storage Closet B.
Huh?
Storage Closet
Check
B?
it out.
That's what it's called on the map. Does she mean the map of the Tozer trinket? A, B, C, D. I activated my trinket, and sure enough. See? Storage Closet B. There's also Storage Closet A, C, and D. Those are definitely the rooms we explored.
I see.
In that case, Kai and I must have explored Storage Closet C. I remember it clearly. The 2 of us checked the closet above and opposite the one Cassidy searched. According to this map, the only closet to fit those parameters is Storage Closet C. Wait.
Correct.
Okay. Grace and I investigated the closet directly next to Damon's, so we must have been inside Storage Closet A.
Yeah.
Which leaves Mark and Jean with Storage Closet D. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh no. Why do I feel like this is gonna be a plot, like a... We're gonna find that someone didn't investigate the correct closet. You know, Damo, since you're here,
Question.
what's the deal with you in the boiler room?
Huh?
What? When Kai told us party peeps about Wolfie, he said you two went inside the boiler room.
How?
The heck did you do that for? You were supposed to check out the storage closet.
No.
You're not casting suspicion on me, are you? Me? No way. As far as Cass is concerned, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise. Investigated the storage closet with Kai. We just didn't find anything inside.
No way.
Although we did hear someone run down the hallway.
Am I hearing you right?
For real? Man, unlucky. All that work for nothing. What's the plan now? Do we just like go back outside? let's check out how the people next door are doing. Suddenly, I heard frantic footsteps echoing from the hallway outside.
Doubt it.
Weird. I don't remember any footsteps.
It's the truth.
I do.
Really?
Meh? Ava, did you really? I heard them while Grace and I were investigating the storage room next to yours.
However,
I just brushed it off as my imagination though. Guess me and Jet must have been talking over them. Were those footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damon? It's Damon. And yeah, they came from the direction of that room, so I wanted to see what the other person was running from.
for real?
Wait, really? I would have just chased after the footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room after something like that? You weren't scared a murderer was hiding inside? What I actually discovered wasn't much better. True. Then whose footsteps could those have been? I don't know why anyone would want to be running around those spooky hallways, let alone in the dark.
What about...
Unless, maybe they were also looking for a backup generator?
That's not important.
I doubt it's that innocent. Considering the place this person ran away from was their crime scene, those footsteps were probably the killers. Huh? You mean fresh off committing the murder?
Right.
Fresh off the murder or a bit after, depends what time we went downstairs. Either way, whether it was immediately after the murder or not, for a brief moment the only thing separating us from Wolfgang's killer were the storage room walls. That's creepy to think about. Thus, bit by bit, the mystery slowly unravels.
My genius is almost
No need to
frightening.
thank me, 'tis all in a day's work. She didn't even do anything. Oh, I forgot. Okay, let's step away from the woman. Okay, this is storage closet A.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look around. I began to investigate the shelves. The glint of something shiny caught my eye.
That?
Huh? Ava, look! There's a rolling pin here, and handprints on it too.
Strange.
What are you implying? Someone used this recently, and not for its intended
I
purpose.
know.
Look, can you see how the handprints are at the base of the pin? You aren't rolling that much though if you're wielding it like this in a tennis... If you're wielding this thing like a tennis racket, are you? The pen is also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean like the other utensils there. Yeah, agreed. Not only that. Right, here's a dent on the pin too. Really? On the end opposite the handprints, can you see it?
Weird.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Handprints and a dent, that's definitely not a coincidence.
Focus.
Could this pin have something to do with that mark we found on Wolfgang's neck? If it was used to knock him out, it would not only explain the dent on the pin, but the bruises on Wolfgang's neck. How did it make its way into the closet though?
Huh?
What do you mean? Yes, she's right. There were supposed to be people inside that closet, and from what we just discussed before, like the killer was running away. So the killer was running away, and we immediately triggered the body announcement, and everyone came here. So when did it have time to get inside this room? How did the pin make its way into the closet after the killer used it? Oh.
There must be something.
I mean, if the footsteps Kai and I heard were the killers, they probably chucked the pin in here on their way out.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not what happened.
Huh?
If the killer entered this closet and hit the rolling
Listen to
pin,
me.
Grace and I would have seen them. Wow, of course, she and Grace were investigating this closet at this time. What if the killer placed this pin in here before any of us came downstairs?
Save it.
If they were out in the hallway, why didn't they use that as their chance to escape? She's right about that too. Could this rolling pin really be unrelated? It lines up so well with the other evidence.
Moving on.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else to this room. Let's keep investigating. One moment she's speaking nonsense, the next she's totally coherent. I don't think I'll ever understand this girl. What do you mean? She's been saying nothing but facts this entire time. We weren't just in here, right?
Where?
A was B and Grace, B was Jet and KCD. He was quietly reciting who went into what storage closet, like an anxious high schooler trying to memorize her exam notes. Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a plot point. She didn't even seem to notice me looking at her. Okay, yeah, we were just in here.
Interesting.
Why does she talk like an octogenarian every so often? You're gonna have to enlighten me on what an octogenarian is. The map says this is storage closet B.
Right.
Right, the closet KCD and Jet explored. Cause she's a nerd! What is an octogenarian? You know, Retro?
Look,
Do you see
Huh?
that? See what? The box in the corner over there, look. Like her voice sounds like an 80-year-old? I mean, the voice actress does a much better job than I am currently doing at like giving her a reasonable voice. But it sounds like she's... I don't know. Her voice sounds like it comes from like the back of her throat, if that makes any sense. That's how I make the sound. But once we get to the class trial, you'll like get to hear her actual voice. Oh wait, unless you mean like her dialogue. Confused, I turned to where she was pointing. This is... I think I know what this is.
Yeah.
A generator, right? The one you were referring to during the blackout?
correct.
Yeah, exactly. Since I've explored these rooms before, I knew one of them had a backup generator.
That's...
If this closet has the backup generator, wouldn't that mean the ones who restored the power...
Thinking.
Well, if KCD and Jet were the only people who entered this room, then they're the people who brought the power back. Damn, I'm surprised those two actually knew how to navigate a generator. Storage closets. You're surprised. Wait. He's surprised the two actually knew how to navigate a generator. Okay. Fair. I mean, you just flip on the switch, no? Doesn't seem that hard. But I'm no electrician. Seems to be all there is to this closet. Actually, I guess I can hear that. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, again, so like almost professional voice actors do a much better job. Also, doing 16 separate voices is hard for me. This was the closet Kai and I explored. At least I guess to use my default voice for Damon. It was hard to get a good look at its contents in the dark, but seeing it now,
see.
there doesn't seem to be anything important here. I think we can move on. Okay. Fair enough. Oh wow, carpets.
Look,
This is storage closet D.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark and Jean explored this one. Let's see what I can find here. Is there anything weird about this room?
That...
I think I see something behind this pile of boxes. I stood on my tiptoes to get a better look and...
Jeez.
Ah, so they really are here.
Well,
What's here? Extension cords. A whole bunch of them.
strange.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, these are definitely the same type of cord I saw in the boiler room. Only difference is, these still have their other half intact. Huh, the internal plugs are pretty slim compared to other kinds of cords. The fact these cords match the one in the boiler room means the killer must have rummaged through the closets for equipment. My only question is when? What? Like the kill seems so... No, I guess it's not spontaneous because there's the note inviting Wolfgang. But Wolfgang was invited so much earlier than he died. I wonder if this is all directly related to the murder, or if this is like set up. My guess is we're probably gonna find out that Wolfgang had a plan to murder someone, and then he was botched and killed himself. For what reason they needed the cord, I had no idea, but this was still a step in the right direction. Besides that box of cords, nothing else about this room is standing out to me.
So,
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We've looked through all the closets now.
so
Did you find everything you needed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Rolling plane and a stack of extension cords. There's no doubting their relevance to this case. At least based on what I've investigated so far.
Anyway.
Ava, let's go upstairs and collect some more testimonies.
where?
Finally. What do you mean finally? We can collect testimonies at any time, but if someone messes up with the crime scene, we won't find the stuff again. Okay, up we go. Heading upstairs would be a bad idea. There are things in this hallway I still need to investigate. Bruh. Is it because I need to speak to Ava first? Ooh.
Interesting.
Well, that was easy. Did she just say "bue"? Where's her catchphrase? Yeah, fair. We, in the... Or I don't know if you're here for it, but we found out she isn't the ultimate liar. She's the ultimate math lead.
The hell?
Why did you do that? To see if you're nervous.
Seriously?
Of course I'm nervous. You were nervous earlier.
No.
Earlier, yeah, but not anymore.
Moving on.
Anyway, you shouldn't be so nervous. You're too nervous, you won't be able to think straight, so you should calm down. Easier said than done.
Well,
Well, you've already investigated the real ugly stuff, right?
listen to me.
Accidentally pressed the B button. You don't need to think about that stuff for now. Just focus on collecting people's testimonies. Yeah, Damon, you can start having fun now. I can keep reminding you if you want. I'll be fine. Okay, now can we go upstairs? What? What do I still need to investigate? Did I miss one of the closets?
Weird.
What a weird looking storage closet.
Stop.
Very funny. Oh. Which one did I miss? Or do I need to speak with her in every closet?
Where?
I'd say if I have one criticism of this game, it's sometimes really obscure. Like, know what you need to click on to progress the story. Yeah, okay, we've already seen this dialogue. Wait, huh? So like we just came out of here. We've investigated this one too, right?
Where?
Okay, we've also seen this dialogue. Sorry, I'm getting really disoriented here. The way they like leave the room is a bit weird.
Where?
Like there's nothing I'm missing, is there?
What?
No, wait. What the hell? Wasn't I just in this closet? I swear I'm losing it. Maybe I missed something here?
Weird.
Come again?
Correct.
The court is... Yeah, it's weird that it's at the crime scene. And its name is also weird.
Huh?
Its name...
Thinking.
Extension cord is a weird name.
Eh?
You see?
Those cords aren't even extendable. If they were like those dining tables you could pull apart, the name would make sense, but they're only a fixed length.
Rage.
Weirdest name ever. How many times can one person say weird? Okay, very insightful, Ava. Alright, is that... Open up your truth bullets, I might be able to see what you're missing. Hold on, let's see if it wasn't just that dialogue. Okay, no, it wasn't just that dialogue. Maybe... Oh, no. Oh, there's blood here. I think that's what we're missing. There's dried up blood on the floor. For some reason, it seemed to pool right around this particular spot. Dried blood, like in the boiler room.
Eh?
Notice the blood in there?
Correct.
I noticed you noticing it.
I see.
So,
So, who do you think left all this blood behind?
Focus.
Well, it can't be Wolfgang, can it? Considering the sort of injury he sustained, it wouldn't make sense for him to have spilt a lot of blood.
There must be something.
Which means the only possibility we're left is...
what could it be?
The blood? The blood belongs to someone else? Yeah, exactly. There we go, blood spots has been updated in the truth bullet section. If I didn't notice the blood here, would you have pointed it out to me?
Eh?
I would have pointed it out to you if the roles were reversed. That way, you'd know not to step on it.
Right.
Sure, I'd point it out.
Thanks.
Okay, I bet now we can go. Yeah, there we go. No longer soft locked. As Ava and I emerged from the basement, on the lookout for anything which could aid us in our investigation.
Eh?
Right in front of us, a flustered Eloise was huddled with her back to the wall. Standing next to her... Sup, you guys? Might wanna lower your voice around here. Some stuff has happened.
What could it be?
Is something wrong? Sorry, Eloise had a bit of a frightening experience recently.
You think?
I think we all have.
No kidding.
Well, yeah. The the scene downstairs is bad, but I'm talking about something else. After Tozu left, we tried going inside Wolfgang's room to look for clues. But the moment we stepped in, she suddenly pounced on me. She dragged me out, and Desmond ran after us. I haven't been able to get my heart to stop beating so quickly since.
Huh?
Hold on, this she you're referring to?
Shit.
Yep, it's Grace. She's been guarding Wolfgang's door ever since she kicked us out. Grace was blocking access to Wolfgang's dorm? What the hell?
Hmm?
We can't let her bar us from entering the class trial could start at any moment. And that's what I tried telling everyone else, but they pretty much just gave up. Have they considered violence? Jed and Mark went to the dining hall, Diana went to the laundry room, and Toshiko and Ingrid went to the courtyard. Eloise and I, though, we're not gonna let this slide. We gotta get inside that dorm room, so we've been brainstorming over ways to approach Grace.
Think about it this way.
And we've landed on something. Performing a brief inquisition. Inquisition? If Grace doesn't want to cooperate, we'll start badgering her with questions. Poke at her ego until it eventually retreats.
Safety first.
If you want, you can join us. But I bet her must be good at dishing verbal beatdowns, yeah? I did come here to inspect Wolfgang's dorm, so I might as well. Yes, we're gonna bully her! If that's the case,
I'm out.
I'll go to the dining hall and ask Jed and Mark for the testimonies. You're not coming along?
Where?
Grace isn't someone I'd like to be around right now. You three can handle her. Something tells me she's just afraid of her talent being mocked.
Right.
No sweat. Have fun with Jed and Mark.
Goodbye.
Oh, bye, Ava. Ava left in the direction of the laundromat, clearly taking the long route to the dining hall. Should we approach Grace then?
Totally.
Yeah, let's not waste any time.
Okay.
Right, okay. Do you want to take the lead, Damon? Oh, sure. I wasn't gonna admit it to either of their faces, but their plan seemed pretty half-baked. Not because I was going to face off with Grace, but because she was too. How could a bungling person like her be of any help in a verbal showdown? If anything, she'll probably make us look uncoordinated. Guess I'll have to do most of the heavy lifting here. Since Grace was guarding Wolfgang's dorm, she should be right around the corner. Yeah, what is her problem? Okay, I just went around for no reason. Explain. Don't you two yuppies get it? You're not coming in.
Don't get it mixed up.
Hang on, we're not here for that. Damon just wants to ask you a question.
Back off.
He isn't coming in either.
Jeez.
Why not? I need to investigate Wolfgang's dorm room.
Soybean.
Back off, Soybean. His room is none of your business. Except it is. Or intensifies? Yes. I have to search his last known whereabouts, which includes his dorm room by default.
See that?
What if I said I've done the job for you?
Come again?
As in, you searched the room? High and low. Wanna know what I found? Nothing. For us to believe that, we need to see it ourselves.
Oi!
You think I'm lying?
Just saying.
There's a chance you could be, unfortunately.
Hey?
Think about it, you haven't given us any reason to believe you. Someone who's got nothing to hide wouldn't be acting so protective right now, you know? Gives the impression there's something you really don't want us to see.
Anyway.
Also, could this be considered breaking the rules? Tozu wants his game to be fair, but being prevented from searching every room doesn't seem very fair.
Don't test me.
Even if it isn't, what are you gonna do? I'll report it to Tozu.
You.
Huh?
Makes sense.
Nice idea. What do you say we look for him now? Tozu agrees to this is sabotage. You might call Mara to help. Boy, it's not sabotage. I'm not hiding in anything about the murder. Don't try to get me involved.
Uh-huh.
Desmond never mentioned Wolfgang's murder?
Anyway,
Look, just let us into the room. If you're not telling the truth, we'll drop our suspicions.
Gotta stay one step ahead.
The reality of the situation is, we gotta invade Wolfgang's privacy if we want to know what happened to him. He would want to investigate our dumps if it were anyone else who died. Grace stood there silently gritting her teeth. Then she stepped away from the door.
Okay.
You. Sweet. Thanks, Grace. With sighs of relief, we entered Wolfgang's room. So this was Wolfgang's room. While some of my expectations were correct, a lot about the room still surprised me. I anticipated the layout resembling my dorms, and the decor reflecting his talent. What I didn't anticipate was how messy it was. Well, maybe not messy, just really casual. A room that had clearly been well lived in.
Oi, you.
What does he mean by clearly well lived in? Don't move things around when you inspect them. I want to keep the room as is. To be honest, I'm not sure why I was even surprised. I wonder why. What's her problem? Is it because her shirt is on the floor? Clothes were scattered across the room, including a familiar-looking woman's jacket. Nothing about them looked suspicious. Wait, what? Accidentally. Yeah, fair. An intricately patterned couch side by side with two red sofa chairs. Even the throw pillars seemed to be arranged in just the right way. Teddy bear! A large toy bear adorned the bed. Something tells me this didn't belong in the room originally.
Ugh.
We're not here for that, my ass. I really should be meeting my eyes.
Quit it.
I know you suspect me. I can tell by the look on your face. But I don't know anything about his death. To be in the dark like everyone else about a person she was so close to. Damn it, get a grip on yourself, David. Grace can claim to know nothing about the murder, but what about everything before it?
anyway.
So I heard a rumor you became Wolfgang's new bunk buddy. This room seems to confirm that. How was you this morning? Grumpy? Happy? Sick? Hey? We were planning to go to the game tournament. But he woke up with an ache in his stomach. Woke up sick? If you're telling me the truth, then Wolfgang planned to attend the
That's
tournament.
not it.
Why did you say the opposite yesterday? Admittedly, I'm also a little hesitant about attending. Not sure if I will have the time for it. From what I remember, Wolfgang said he'd be too busy to attend the tournament. Heh, more like he wanted another round at the pachinko machine.
Watch and learn.
I would know. I interrogated him after breakfast.
No.
What? That's seriously what he
Yeah,
meant?
okay.
You heard? So I told him, hey no, let's do the tournament. He was a bit finicky at first, typical for a soybean, but he eventually caved. Typical for a soybean. Oh my god. So this doesn't explain why she's so apprehensive to us searching the room. What are you hiding, Grace? What are you hiding? Then again, some of the paraphernalia in this room look neither gold nor law related.
Okay,
Alright, so based on what you're saying, Wolfgang agreed to attend the tournament yesterday. However, come this morning, Wolfgang remembered the pirate was attending, so he suggested I track down that guy and partner with him instead.
Right.
Right, because you needed to bring a partner to the tournament. Wolfgang. He knew I was miffed about it. Smile said as much. But I walked out the door anyway.
Dumbass.
Wolfgang said he was too sick to get out of bed, so I walked away. If Wolfgang really had been bedridden, how he wound up in the boiler room? Either he didn't come of his own volition, or he was never sick to begin with. By the look on her face, I could tell Grace realized the same. But all that said, it wasn't like Wolfgang to hide anything. For a guy who's so gung-ho about honesty, you'd think he would confide in the person he's closest to. Did the letter I find inside his blazer pocket has something to do with it? At the bottom of the page, fragments of the message were still visible. Secret. Oh yeah, this thing, yeah. While only a few words were legible, a lot could be gleaned from them. For example, that mention of a secret. The rest of the note elaborate on it. Was the word alone enough to scare Wolfgang? Maybe he wanted to shield Grace from information even he can handle? Or maybe he simply didn't want her to know. Whatever the reason, Wolfgang Akira deliberately hid information from someone. Ironic, huh? He could save others but not himself. Eloise was kneeling on the floor, sorting through Wolfgang's bedside ottoman with a serious look on her face. Hey, can we talk for a second? Okay. She closed the ottoman and stood up, now wearing the same nervous expression she always did. Is there something wrong? I want to know your whereabouts during Wolfgang's murder. Oh. When the murder happened, I was with Desmond in the courtyard. The courtyard? Yes. You can ask Desmond to confirm if you're confused. No, I'm fine.
It's simple.
Let me just ask this. What were you doing during the blackout? Blackout? Yeah, you did experience it, right?
That's not...
No, I don't think there was ever a blackout. We were only alerted to the murder because of Tozu's announcement.
I see.
So, my theory is right. Fuenona never experienced a blackout in the tree room, and Eloise never experienced a blackout in the courtyard. Both of those buildings must be connected to an entirely different power source. What's up, Damon?
Hi.
Hey, can you check something out
Easy
for me?
enough.
In here or
That's not it.
in the boiler room? I found a taser gun
Are
in there.
you for real?
I can't tell if it's been fired or not. I don't think it has, but I want to know for sure. Because if I'm wrong and this taser gun was used, it might clue us into the nature of Wolfgang's death.
No kidding.
What we're talking about is that big a deal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, since your skill at using guns are
All
figured,
good.
no sweat. I'll see to it once I'm done here. Thanks for the heads up, Damon. Well, that's all I could find. Why was Grace so antsy about people entering? There didn't seem to be anything suspicious lying around here. In any case, since I'm done here, I should head to the dining hall. I'm pretty sure that's where Eva said she was going. Oh, bye, Eva. As soon as I entered the room, Eva walked over to
Hello.
me. Hello, I just finished talking to everyone here. Anything important?
Rage.
Nothing important. I don't think Jed and Mark are taking this seriously. Might end up like the mock trial where only a couple of people know what they're doing. Does she really think so? Well, that information definitely didn't bode well for me. I couldn't afford to be discouraged by it. Not unless I want to die in this game.
Focus.
I'll see if I can make those two talk.
Thanks.
Good luck. Mark had returned to his position by the equipment. Hey, Desmond and Eloise told me you plan to investigate Wolfgang's store. Grace isn't guarding it anymore, so you can go inside now. Let me guess, you don't want to investigate?
It's nothing.
I just came here to make sure my interface wasn't damaged. This investigation could spell the difference between life and death, yet his priority was stupid music equipment? Don't you think it looks suspicious, what you're doing? Huh? Right people are already giving Grace the side eye for being uncooperative. What might they say if they found out you've ditched the investigation?
Slow down.
Yo, hold on! It called out to us from the other side of the room and ran over. Can't you see Broski isn't feeling well? Give the guy some space.
That's not important.
I don't care. I'm working on a time limit. Who are you to talk anyway? Yeah? Judging by the look on Broski's face, whenever you guys are together,
It's simple.
out of everyone here, I think you'd know the least about personal space. No way! Sure, Mark might not talk a whole lot, but if he wasn't having fun, do you really think would be hanging out so much?
Broskies always stick together.
Come on, Broski, back me up here. What time did the murder happen?
That's
9:35 a.m. Check this. Went to a small digital clock at the top of the musical pad.
that's
Huh? This is the time of the murder. Also, give me 1 second. I want to see if something works. Okay, can I still be heard? Let me check on OBS. Okay, cool. I just unplugged my headphones. We're back to wireless. It was like this when I came back here. I think the clock got screwed over by the blackout. Ah, okay, so the blackout happened at the exact moment Wolfgang was murdered. So now it's frozen on whatever it was displaying before it lost power. And that confirms my suspicions. Blackout, and by association, the destruction of the generator, occurred at the time of Wolfgang's murder.
My man.
Nice going, bro. You hit the jackpot. Bet it's cause I was here with you, huh? Sheesh. This was getting hard to watch. Shit! Why didn't Tosu fix the blackout himself? Is the maintenance of this place seriously our responsibility?
Not okay!
The fridge and pantry are restocked every day though. Can't things just be consistent? Running aside, you made a good point. Why didn't Tosu fix the blackout? Back on his reel from earlier. The tablet's information has been divulged in such a way that both the killer and the spotless have an equal chance of success. Tozu abstained from fixing the blackout because it was important to the killer? They could easily make their escape if no one could see anything.
Wait.
Oh yeah, Damon, since you're here, I've been thinking real hard about those footsteps we heard
come again.
when we were in the storage closet.
No, seriously.
Yeah, they were soft, right? Like the person was wearing
See.
socks. Now that you mention it, it did sound like socks on a hard floor. Of all the things we read about, it has to be this. What do you mean? I mean, why didn't the killer just wear shoes? Think about it. The sound of something like heels would be pretty distinct, right? Or what about sneakers? They get pretty squeaky on a smooth floor. And
Don't say that.
what I'm saying is, you could totally figure out the shoe from the sound it makes. And if you know what shoes the killer had on, you can just look for the person with a matching pair. But socks, anyone can be wearing socks. The person probably removed their shoes for that reason.
This sucks.
Ugh, just our luck. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it me or is there something funky about this
Come
place?
again?
What? I don't know, man. Everything feels kinda off. I can't place Y though, and it's bugging the crap out of me. Sounded like you just felt uncomfortable being here. I guess I can't blame him, but to turn things up, taking the tension and excitement of the tournament was all but a distant memory. And this room was now reminded that Wolfgang died right under our noses.
Where?
This might end like the mock trial. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright. Very curious about the vent. I can't hear the word of it generated anymore. Okay. Fair enough. May as well skim through the kitchen just in case. Yeah. Well, we're thinking that one of the things is missing, one of the rolling pins. Oh yeah, and the knife, of course. Except, this knife block had a missing knife from it. For a kitchen knife to go missing. At the same time, a knife is found floating in the boiler room's water. That can't be a coincidence. Yeah, fair enough. Cassidy had clearly spent a lot of time doodling this. She must be upset that we didn't even finish a single round. No, I don't. I mean, no front to KCD, but I don't think this took that long. The first time people have a get-together, they're interrupted by a murder. Thinking back on it, the game tournament and the murder happened really close to each other. The tournament began at 9 AM, while the latter occurred at 9:35 AM. It's within the same hour. Taking another look at this whiteboard, yeah, I can see why the killer chose to attack so soon. Wait! No, never mind. 8 potential witnesses, all situated in one place, 2 preoccupied with video games. They noticed the world around them. There couldn't be a more perfect time to strike. Oh my, would you look at the time? I dare say we ought to get this trial started soon. How does 20 minutes from now sound? Great? Great. Please continue to investigate until then. See you later. What? There's only 20 minutes until the trial?
Hang on.
David. How does she keep scaring me? The investigation's almost over. We need to find the other 3 and hear their testimonies.
As
other
I
three?
was saying,
Dushko, Ingrid, and Diana.
Jeez.
Alright, calm down. Desmond said they were in the courtyard,
I'm
right?
talking.
And Diana's in the laundry room. Then let's talk to Diana first, since the laundry room is in the same building. In the meantime, don't panic, okay?
Can't you see?
I'm not panicking. As she said that, she motioned for me to follow her over to the door. Eva might deny it, but the anxiety which had been bubbling up inside her was clearly starting to boil over. With how fast my own heart was beating, I guess she's not alone. Okay, it's almost trial time.
Get to the point.
Alright, let's see if I remember where the laundry is. It's not over there. Is it over here? Yeah. Alright, if Desmond's telling the truth, then Diana should be in here. What, like Diana isn't allowed to move? No, I guess she is here anyway. Alright. What's up, Diana? This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Diana was standing with her back pressed up against the wall, arms wrapped around herself in a tight embrace. She's in even worse shape than before. Diana, I need to ask you a question. Please, give me a moment. It's been kind of tough.
No.
No. The investigation is going to end really soon. We can't wait. Okay, sorry. Where were you during the blackout? Blackout. Right before the body was discovered. I was just in my room, alone, doing my makeup. Don't have any makeup on though. I was experimenting with new combinations, so I wiped it all off already.
I see.
So you were alone in your room this entire morning? Yeah, I just wasn't feeling up to it. Yes.
Sorry.
I have found the person that's gonna get accused first. Sorry, I'm feeling a little sick all of a sudden. Do you mind if I go back to my room? I've asked all the questions I wanted to.
So,
Do you think she was acting weird at all?
That's...
No weirder than the others. Anyway, since Diana gave a testimony, I can cross her off my list for now. She's the only people I still need to speak to.
where?
I hope Ingrid and Tushko are still in the courtyard. We won't know until we see for ourselves. Alright, let's go, before this investigation ends. And Ingrid had retreated under the bandstand at the center of the courtyard. The larger girl was comforting the smaller girl, who completely hidden her face behind her fan.
Hello?
Hey, have either of you been investigating? Investigating? Tushko lowered her fan to reveal a pair of puffy eyes.
Unacceptable!
I don't know. What were you expecting me to do?
Seriously?
To look for clues? Clues?
Impossible!
How am I meant to do that? It's not like I had to solve a murder before, you know? My hands have been a bit full, so no luck finding any clues. See
Moving
why.
on.
Okay, well, did you at least notice anything suspicious this morning? Be a person acting odd or strange sound. That's what most real-life testimonies talk about anyway.
Think this through.
A person acting odd? Maybe not at the time, but looking back, definitely seems a little strange. You want to tell him, Tushko? What's mad is that finishing this chapter will still probably take another stream. Yeah, we're for sure not finishing today. Like, we're now about halfway into the stream, a little under. Okay, fine. This morning I saw Wolfgang.
Huh?
Also, just for anyone that's watching this, I do know that his name is like supposed to be pronounced Wolfgang, but Wolfgang just sounds kind of funny. Also, they're all American, so they get the American treatment when it comes to pronouncing foreign names. When did you see him? In the dorm hallway on my way back from the pharmacy. The dorm hallway? Just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh, Wolfgang. What a coincidence running into each other like this. Are you already on your way to the tournament? Miss Kayura? Rather early. Of course not. A professional like myself knows better than to attend some silly party. Right, my apologies. What about you? Are you going to the tournament? That's correct. I'm going to the tournament. I'm just heading to the laundry room right now. There's a batch of clothes I accidentally left behind in there.
That's
Wolfgang said he was going to attend the tournament.
Strange.
Yesterday he told everyone he was too busy to attend. I assumed he'd changed his mind. I had no reason to question him. I heard bits and pieces of their conversation from inside my dorm. The whole thing couldn't have lasted longer than a minute.
Bit complicated.
Toshko and I are bunk buddies, by the way. Thought I'd mention that in case Damon didn't know. Okay, thanks. Anyway, when I heard what Wolfie said, my first thought was, leftover clothes? I don't remember any leftover clothes. But I figured it must have been misremembering. With my aching head and all. He was clearly lying. Aching head? I was suffering a terrible headache this morning. Couldn't even see 2 steps ahead in front of me, let alone get up from my bed. That's why I had gone to the pharmacy. I was hoping to procure some medication for Ingrid. Not my proudest moment, I'll admit. But I knew I could trust Toshko with the job.
So,
Do you know what time the interaction with Wolfgang happened? 8:10, I think?
How should I put it?
The conversation happened just a little after the morning announcement. That I could tell you with confidence. Yes, that pass would make sense. When the announcement initially played, I was just about to leave the pharmacy. She was already inside the pharmacy by 8 AM. So, Wolfgang, he looked totally fine when you saw him.
sure.
Yes, nothing seemed awry. Doesn't call into question what Grace told. Doesn't that call into question what Grace told me earlier? Either Grace lied to me about Wolfgang calling in sick, or she was telling the truth. And Wolfgang just got outed as a liar. I could probably deduce an answer if I know what time Grace left Wolfgang's dorm. She left before 8:10 AM, then she would have already been out of the picture by the time Wolfgang made his move. Hence why she only remembers him in bed. However, if she left after 8:10 AM, then she would have been there for Wolfgang's encounter with Tushko. Which means she lied about Wolfgang being bedridden during the time of period she was in his dorm. Funny how she never gave me a time. Tushko's fetch quest. What else happened after Toshko saw Wolfgang? That blackout sure gave us a spook. Toshko and I decided to stay where we were until the lights turned on, so we did watch you and your buddies pass by. So what?
How should I put it?
Heard first, then took a peek. I would have said something, but I still wasn't feeling my usual self. We watched you up until you all went down the stairs. That must have been how you found the crime scene, right? Yeah, that's right.
Too much for me.
Such a terrible sight. I can't believe someone here may actually be behind it. Let's just hope we can solve it. And that's... Alright everyone, that's time! Please drop whatever it is you're doing and proceed over to the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long, otherwise you'll be in for a shocking surprise. Get it? Because your trinkets can zap you? Anyway, just get a move on. It's time.
Fingers crossed.
You two go on ahead. Toshko and I will catch up.
Listen to me.
Okay, let's go, Damon. Here we go. Yes, trial time. We're nearly there. Eva and I made the short trek to the room with the tree. Once there, we waited for the others to arrive. Eventually, everyone had shown up. So, how are you guys feeling?
It's me.
Words wouldn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty bad. I can't tell you how I feel when I don't even know what I feel. I'd rather we save the talking for the trial. Just a few moments time. We're going to be down there in the trial room, fighting for survival, using only our words. Nearly there, dude. This trial is like 5 hours long. Awesome, awesome. I bet we're gonna have a few surprises along the way. Things really aren't as clear cut as the prologue trial, which is good. I mean, this game pretty much assumes you've played all the Danganronpa games, so I assume it's okay for it to do more complicated stuff. Before the door in the tree opens, I need to ask Desmond if he has any new information about the taser gun.
Hi.
Hey. Hey. His voice was steady, but his eyes kept darting around the room. Did you check the taser? Right, I did. Any findings? Just one. And the gun's blast door went missing. Blast? What?
Eh?
All of a sudden, the ground. Ah, no, not again. Hold on to something, everyone. The Tree of Knowledge, a symbol of sentience, intuition, and understanding, exists here only as a barren replica. The Tree of Ignorance emulates the wonders of nature, but does not achieve it. And justly so, for ignorance often appears to be seen as wisdom. Man. Isn't that what he said last time? Well, guess we gotta cut this conversation short. I'll explain everything during the trial. Let's not keep this good guy waiting.
Holy!
Wait. Is Tozu goated? Oh man, this is really happening. We're so screwed, we're totally gonna die.
It is how it is.
If you go in expecting to fail, chances are you will.
Game over, man! Game over!
I'm gonna think of failure even more because you said that.
Hold your horses.
Look at it this way. Who here are the cards we're stacked against? 14 people working together to solve a murder? Or one person trying to lead everyone else astray?
Are we ready?
If everyone's in for a struggle, it ain't a group of 14.
Do you think?
You make a good point. Statistically, the odds are in our favor here.
It'll be okay.
Exactly. Luck will be on our side.
No, it's not.
If luck was on our side, we wouldn't be in a killing game to start with. Can I say something first before we go? Oh, what is it? It's a message for the killer.
What did you say?
A message for the killer? And the person here who killed Wolfgang, whoever you are, can you please step forward?
I want to help.
We don't have to do this class trial. If you can just find it in yourself to step forward and bring this whole thing to an end already. But please. Right, Dennis, please. No one came forward.
Come on.
If someone's determined enough to commit a murder, they won't back down because of one person's pleas. Since we're on the subject, I also got a message for the killer.
Dumbass!
Don't forget that the punishment fits the crime, asshole. Enjoy the fucking death penalty. He spat out those words and disappeared into the opening of the tree.
Can I go now?
No sign.
Slow down.
Yo, broski, wait up! Wait on, people began to follow suit. I guess if it's go time. We knew where the stairs would take us, and where the elevator afterwards would deliver us. Everything beyond that was shrouded in uncertainty. There was no mock trial awaiting us, no full murder designed to waste our time with a stupid mystery. This was undoubtedly real. Come on, Damon, get a hold of yourself already. Taking a deep breath, I approached the opening in the tree and descended into the darkness. It was the same. That same elevator, the same slow churning of metal, and echoing sounds of clunky machinery. And yet something was different. Someone was gone. Someone who I never held in high regard, but who was still a person, nonetheless. A person with feelings, a person with aspirations, a person with a family. person who I will never hear speak again. Not a single word. Am I ready for this? Was what I did during the investigation the best I could have done? Will it be enough to carry me through this trial? Will it be enough to lead me to Wolfgang's killer? I won't know until I do it. Until I face this trial head on. There's no way I can place my fate and the other people here. There's no way they'll come to the correct conclusion. Their survival depends on me. The elevator began to slow, snapping me back to reality. I adjusted my tie and stood up tall, and when movement stopped completely, the doors in front of us opened.
Rise and shine.
Somebody call an ambulance! I think I've caught a case of deja vu.
Isn't this lovely?
It feels like only yesterday we were playing detective with the corpse of a crime scene. My, how insouciant and chipper so many of you used to be.
How interesting.
After all that back and forth of a simple how-done-it mystery, I'm truly curious what today's trial will yield.
Yeah,
Just to remind myself, our names are on the podiums, right? Eager to start, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. To find your podium, just look for where your name is written.
The show must go on.
Come on, hop to it. I'm so excited I can barely wait a second longer. I really don't want to do this.
Oh, crud!
You gotta do as he says though, otherwise that enforcer lady might get mad. We're powerless to disobey Tozu. We began to disperse and locate to our podiums.
Hey,
It's okay, everyone. If we work together, we can do this.
we can't give up.
Right, guys? If we work together, we can solve this case. So, come on, let's do this. We're Wolfgang. Local words elicited nods from the other students. The expression on their faces told a different story. It was an expression I couldn't help but feel conflicted over in a moment where I shouldn't have been focusing on my feelings. An expression of unmistakable fear. For days now, I've been angry over the mock trial. Angry at how much people resented me for telling the truth, how they twisted my words and assumed my intentions. I'm angry, but that didn't mean I wanted to be right. I would have been happy for reality to prove me wrong, for no one to buckle under the pressure of this killing game. But good endings like that only exist in stories. Reality was apathetic to what we wanted, and the events of today proved that we were at its mercy. So I stood there at my podium, conflicted. I think the strategy could have been avoided had people just listened to me. But was it that encouraged everyone to turn on me? Was it that encouraged everyone to trust each other? If Wolfgang hadn't been so naive, if he'd just told everyone to protect themselves rather than each other, maybe he would still be here. Regardless, I can't let myself be consumed by the what-ifs. Although the others may have failed at preventing Wolfgang's murder, I, at the very least, can solve it. I'll uncover this killer, let them face the consequences. I'll uncover this killer, let them face the consequences of their actions. I'll solve this case and survive. Yes, I would like to save my game. Last trial preparation. Alright, let's go over all the truth bullets. That's something I always like to do before any of these trials. Just go over all the truth bullets once again. Okay, so Blackout. At the time of Wolfgang's murder, Winona and Ulysses were by the giant tree. Winona does not recall a blackout happening. The same goes for Eloise, who spent her morning in the courtyard with Desmond. Okay, so it only affected the main building, is what they're saying. blood spots. Drops of blood were scattered around the boiler room door. They were also scattered in the outside hallway. Boiler room doorknob. The doorknob has been flipped so that the lock is now on the outside. Wait. Something doesn't make sense here. Why would the lock ever be on the inside? When, like... It makes more sense for it to be on the outside, no? Like, you would want to lock the boiler room from the outside, but why would you ever want to lock yourself in? That's very strange. But either way, it was flipped, and now it's on the outside of the boiler room. Okay. Personally, I think locks on the inside of a room are useful, like with bathrooms. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously for bathrooms, that makes sense. But why the boiler room? Okay, Wolfgang Sands. There were burn marks all over Wolfgang Sands. DJ pad clock. The digital clock on Mark's DJ pad is frozen at 9:35 AM. Mark believes the blackout caused some kind of internal damage to his DJ pad, and the clock is frozen on the time it last displayed before power is lost. Yeah, so this proves the blackout happened at 9:35. That's good. A tattered extension cord floating in the water. There was no internal plug. Only a frayed tip with a black substance. A collection of similar-looking extension cords were discovered in storage closet D. Those ones were fully intact, and the internal plugs were particularly slim. Why would you ever want to lock people out of a room if it has no valuables in it? I mean, I could imagine, like, locking the boiler room just so your kids don't go inside it. Or just so, like, guests don't accidentally go inside it. I mean, there's even less of a reason for you to be able to lock it from the inside, no? When Kai and I were exploring storage closet C, we heard someone run past the closet. The footsteps sounded like they were moving away from the boiler room. Based on how soft the footsteps were, it can be inferred the person was not wearing shoes. The game tournament began at 9 AM and was attended by 8 people. Of this 8, 6 competed in the tournament. Kai, me, Jet, KCD, John, and Grace. The first match was between myself and Kai, but our game was cut short by the blackout. Half of the generator's wires were melted, and what remained intact had been completely singed. It's like a bomb went off inside the machine. Grace's testimony. Wolfgang was going to attend the tournament with Grace, but had to cancel this morning after waking up with a sore stomach. He encouraged Grace to attend the tournament with John instead. A knife floating in the water. On the blade and in the surrounding water was the unmistakable color of blood. While inspecting the kitchen, I discovered a knife block inside one of the cabinets. This block just so happens to be missing a large knife. The air in the boiler room smelled like an odd combination of cereal and alcohol. Jean believes the smell is the result of a chemical reaction. What the hell smells like cereal and alcohol? Oh. No, I really don't know. Wait. Could it be like makeup products? Like if you were removing your makeup. No, you would use acetone, not alcohol. Still though, that is a thought. I really don't know what could smell like cereal. Chunks of an unidentified material were floating in the water next to the generator. Yeah, what the hell is this thing? A dusty rolling pin discovered inside storage closet A. On one end is a small dent, on the other 2 very clear handprints. Okay, right. I think this is gonna. I need to commit this to short-term memory. The underground floor has storage closet. During the blackout, tournament attendees who were searching for a backup generator agreed to enter these closets in pairs. Ava and Grace entered storage closet A. Jed and KCD entered storage closet B. Ty and I entered storage closet C. Jean and Mark entered storage closet D. So, in essence, Ava and Grace were in the storage Ava and Grace were in the storage closet where the rolling pin was found, right? Yeah. And the other one was Jean and Mark were in the one for the extension cord? Yeah. Okay, suspicious note. A note discovered inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket. The paper was damaged by the water, smudging most of the ink beyond readability. However, a few words can be made out at the bottom of the note. Secret, 8:15 AM, and close the door. Laser gun found at the crime scene. A thin piece of metal discovered near the boiler room. Again, since this is a hairpin, this is more evidence for Diana having been there. Okay, I'm gonna check the truth bullets afterwards, and I want to see if Diana is the only one that clearly wears hairpins. Toshiko left the dorms before 8 AM to fetch Ingrid some medication from the pharmacy. On her way back, she briefly encountered Wolfgang in the hallway. Ingrid overheard bits and pieces of Toshiko's and Wolfgang's conversation from her room. She was fairly confident the encounter happened around 8:10 AM. The victim is Wolfgang Akire, the ultimate lawyer. He was discovered in the boiler room on the underground floor. He's kneeling in the water and his upper body is slumped over the concrete platform. Estimated time of death is 9:35 AM. Then there's Wolfgang's neck. A huge discolored mark round down the back of Wolfgang's neck. Was this the first time of decomposition, or was it a bruise left by something? Next to the discoloration of Wolfgang's neck was a tiny red dot, the skin around which looked inflamed. There was no scabbing, however, which suggests this dot appeared recently. Okay. I actually don't see any hairpins on her sprite. Is there anyone else who uses hairpins? I mean, she does, but this is not the hairpin we found. I guess he uses a hairpin too, but also not the kind we found. No. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go to the bathroom for 2 minutes, and when I'm back, we'll begin the trial. thank you all for waiting. Let's start. Difficulty, yeah, this is fine, I think. Let's begin. Last trial in session.
Let's get this started, shall we? Welcome back to the trial grounds, everyone. Unlike previously, today will be no circus. No mockery woven with stitches and needles.
Haha, you referenced the name of the previous trial.
A true, fair, and proper trial will commence. A battle of wits between the blackened and the spotless. I doubt I have to explain the rules to you again. But even so, you must vote for who you believe is the blackened. If the blackened receives the majority of votes, only they will be punished, and the rest of you will resume your killing game experience. However, if you vote for the wrong person, then expect no sympathy from your hosts. All spotless students will meet a tragic end, or the blackened will be granted release from this academy. Happy discussing! We pray for your survival and success.
Can someone please break this silence?
I don't want to talk about this.
Wolfgang deserves justice. But putting everyone's lives on the line like this is just cruel.
Okay, they say Wolfgang too. That's good. Makes me feel a little bit better.
Oh, crap. Without a lawyer, we're totally screwed.
Whenever I turn my head, I keep expecting to see him at his podium.
Guys, get it together.
Oh, don't cry, Toshiko. He's in a better place now, you hear?
Whichever one of you sick bastards did this, whatever it takes, no matter if I have to kick the brains out of every single person here, I'll find you.
Do you really gotta resort to violence?
Let's just stay calm, okay? Making peace with our situation is, the first step in handling it. How the hell can I stay calm when there's a killer on the loose? That bastard is watching us right now, fully content putting our lives on the line. Is that what you call peace? Being at the mercy of some dickhead silent observer?
Nobody knows for sure if the killer is even a silent observer. If anything, the killer might try to feign innocence through other means. For instance, pretending to be outspoken about the case.
Oh?
What the? Are you accusing me of something?
I mean, what you did during the investigation seems really suspicious.
Guys, don't randomly start throwing out accusations. You have to, systematically work from how the murder was done.
What did Grace do?
She stood in front of Wolfgang's dorm room and wouldn't let anyone go inside, intentionally or not. It really hindered our investigation.
Because of Grace, almost everyone who planned to investigate Wolfgang's dorm gave up and went elsewhere. It was only after some of us started protesting that she finally relented. You know, for someone who seems so adamant about finding Wolfgang's killer, it's odd she tried to conceal potential evidence.
I'm not saying Grace is definitely the killer. I just think we should be cautious of her.
She has an alibi, though.
Huh?
Grace couldn't have murdered anyone, 'cause she went to the game tournament.
This game's updates take so long because Grace's VA needs to wait for her vocal cords to heal after every recording session. Yeah. Very true. Screaming into the mic.
Attended the tournament?
Wait, she did?
Does that rule her out from committing the murder?
What? Grace was there? I just looked at these. It says was attended by 8 people, but then it doesn't say which 8 people. Grace was at the tournament, she got paired with Jean. Ah, okay, fair enough. I forgot.
Well, yeah. We had to be at the dining hall by 9 a.m.-ish. which was like half an hour before the murder. Nobody left the tournament after it started either. Nobody I know of, anyway.
There weren't many of us there. Had someone disappeared, it would have been obvious.
So, Grace is off the hook? Wow. That plot thread resolved itself quicker than I was anticipating.
So Jean, Grace, and Kai attended Cassidy and Jet's game tournament.
And me.
And Mark.
Damon and I also attended the tournament. We can also vouch for Grace.
Yeah, see, she does sound a bit like, yeah, we can also vouch for Grace.
You guys aren't lying, are you?
Why would 8 of us lie?
What the heck? Are you seriously doubting 8 testimonies?
If the 8 of you were really together when Wolfgang was discovered, then Kai, doesn't that contradict what you said before the investigation? You told everyone you and Damon found Wolfgang first. How is that possible if you guys never left the dining hall?
I never said I didn't leave the dining hall!
But earlier you told us you were with the other attendees.
That's because us partygoers left the dining hall together.
When the blackout struck, the tournament folk joined arms and headed straight downstairs. I would know. I saw him.
There was a blackout?
You don't remember?
Actually, I don't recall a power outage either.
How could that be? Did an alternate timeline converge with ours?
Cassidy, what are you on about? Why is she doing this? Sus. I said that some people can recall a blackout, but not others. Thinking back on the testimonies I've collected, I can probably make an educated guess.
I got it.
The reason not everyone experienced the blackout is because only the building containing our dorms was affected. If I had to guess, the courtyard and tree area are connected to separate power sources.
So the tournament attendees were affected, yet they left the dining hall? Why not stay put until the power returned? Because we were the ones who brought it back. It didn't seem like the power was being restored anytime soon, so we took up the challenge of fixing it ourselves. And just our luck, boom! We found a spare generator lying in one of the storage closets. Of course, then we found Wolfgang.
She's right. The 8 of us split into 4 pairs and inspected a storage room each.
Because of the toaster trinket map, we know which ones, too. Eva and Grace checked storage closet A. Jet and I checked storage closet B. Damon and Kai checked storage closet C. And Jean and Mark checked storage closet D.
Yeah, I was with Grace. She can confirm being with me too.
Right.
Yeah, we were together.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry for what I said earlier.
No, you're right. It's still definitely strange that she tried to stop us from investigating.
Sorry? You're sorry for accusing me of murder. Sorry doesn't cut it, you conniving two-faced bitch! If you really want my mercy, then get on your knees and beg for it!
Whoa! Uncool, dude.
Hang on. Even if you aren't involved in Wolfgang's murder, you must know something about his last known whereabouts.
What makes you think she'd be privy to that?
You see, there's proof Grace spent last night with Wolfgang.
Grace and Loya Man? Talk about an unexpected pairing.
When I investigated Wolfgang's room, I saw a bunch of golfing equipment inside. Also, there was a blue woman's jacket tossed over the mantle of Wolfgang's bed.
Ugh.
He's right. I also saw the equipment and the clothes.
The clothes are understandable, maybe. But why was golfing equipment in the room?
Yo, little history dude. Wolfgang must have spilled the beans with you, right?
Why would Ulysses know anything?
Common courtesy. If you're gonna have a one-night stand, you gotta let your roomie know in advance.
Common courtesy also says you should watch your mouth around children.
Oh, like Toshiko doesn't know about this. She's the ultimate matchmaker.
Yes, ma'am.
So if I'm getting this right, Ulysses is bunking with Wolfgang?
Well, we only shared a dorm for one night.
You aren't bunking with him anymore?
Let me provide some context. As you may remember, after Desmond suggested everyone bunk together, the male students were directed to the dining hall. Once there, we played rock, paper, scissors to determine who would partner with who. Jet partnered with Mark, Desmond with Jean, Damon with Kai, and I with Wolfgang. Those were the pairings at the time. However, the following day, Grace and I agreed to swap rooms.
Yeah? Why'd you do that?
For reasons.
Wolfie was showing Grace's golf club. Oh no. What a cursed trip.
Totally not suspicious.
It was a win-win situation. I get Grace out of my hair. She gets me out of hers.
You two were originally bunking together?
The pairings were decided via a game of tic-tac-toe.
This makes the guys seem like geniuses for how they decided theirs.
I wasn't big on my partner being chosen for me. So when the opportunity arose to change that, I took it.
Thus, I became Winona's roommate, and Grace became Wolfgang's.
Can confirm. I watched the whole thing play out.
Since the room swap happened the night after we implemented the bunk buddy system, that would mean Grace and Wolfgang have been bunking for about a day and a half. Ugh, gross.
In that case, Desmond was right about those two being together last night. Grace, did Wolfgang act strange at any point?
You better not lie, Grace.
Maybe he said something that stuck out to you, or... Oh, maybe he had trouble getting to sleep.
No. Nothing weird happened last night. Nothing happened last night. But... The morning of the murder, this morning, Wolfgang told me he felt sick.
Sick?
With a stomachache. It hurt so bad he couldn't get out of bed. I was gonna cancel my plans for today, but he convinced me to attend the tournament. So, I left his room right after the morning announcement. And yes, I'm talking about the game tournament. The same one Wolfgang acted all hesitant about attending. Newsflash, I changed his mind after breakfast yesterday.
Hold on a sec. That ain't what you told me this morning.
What did Grace tell you?
Oh no, she is lying.
Simply put, she felt like competing. Grace knew I planned to compete as well, so she asked me to be her sparring partner, since you needed one to enter the tournament.
She withheld information.
Aye, that she did.
I mean, to be fair, at that point, it was none of their business whether Wolfgang was sick or not.
Of course, since I now know Wolfgang's condition at the time, I can't say I blame her.
Exactly.
If someone you cared for was in a vulnerable position, would you go around and admit that in a killing game? No. You would try to protect that person by saying nothing at all.
When you put it that way, man, sounds rough.
I think it's obtuse.
Huh?
Say we assume the best of Grace. She withheld information not to trick anyone, but to protect someone she cares about. What then should we make of the glaring contradiction in her testimony?
What the hell do you mean, contradiction?
If your bunking partner was too ill to make the short trek to the dining hall, how did he walk all the way to the boiler room?
Good point. If Wolfgang really were bedridden, he would have stayed in his room.
Now that you mention it, to reach the underground floor, wouldn't Wolfgang need to descend, like, 4 flights of stairs?
Damn, I never realized it was that many stairs.
It's nothing for a healthy person, but for a guy who's supposedly really sick...
It's not my fault it doesn't make sense. It's just what Wolfgang told me.
Yeah. Didn't we decide Grace wasn't the killer anyway?
That's not to say she doesn't know more than she's letting on.
I'm not withholding anything else. Leave me alone.
There's more to the story than Grace is telling us. Many people are letting their emotions cloud their judgment. I need to solve this mystery and set things right. wonder. The crowd music is such a pop. Yeah, they did a great job. Alright, let's see what they're
Why
cooking.
don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain.
Wait, the health carries over from the last trial? I'm still only at half health? Damn. That's harsh.
The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret hallways.
Secret hallways?
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not helping.
The elevator. Casey is just trolling.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
I've got nothing else to explain.
This is Toshiko's fetch quest, right? Yeah.
The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm.
We would have.
That, or Wolfgang Grace he was sick.
Maybe Grace has some kind of reason for lying about what Wolfgang said this morning.
How? If anything, telling you the truth is putting my ass on the line.
She would benefit from lying about this.
Why don't you
That's
tell
what I'm
everyone
saying.
the truth, Grace?
But it's definitely not secret hallways.
That, or Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
Was Wolfgang carried by the killer?
I wouldn't lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not
I
helping.
mean, he could have been carried. Yeah, it's true.
Why don't you tell everyone?
The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out. Secret hallways.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
No.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
that doesn't contradict.
But I don't
Sorry, I
really
thought it was a blue
understand what you mean.
statement.
If Wolfgang was killed in his dorm room, and the killer carried his body to the boiler room, all the evidence should fit together, right?
Damn it, I need to rethink this. Wait,
Why
is it?
don't you tell everyone,
Hold on.
Grace?
Is it Toshiko's adventure on the statement of
Okay.
him being carried?
We would have found.
Killer.
There we go.
No, that's wrong!
This is going well so far. Well, that's the fun of it. There's kind of no penalty for
It's
failing.
true Grace's testimony is
I still like
inconsistent
to
with where we found Wolfgang's body.
try to figure it
That's
out
not
on the
Grace's
mean
fault.
difficulty.
The only person we should be blaming is Wolfgang himself.
Oh wow, funky.
What the heck? Why are you blaming him?
Simple. Because he lied about being sick.
Seriously?
You can cooperate. Can't you, Toshiko? During the investigation, you told me you saw Wolfgang in the hallways at 8:10 a.m.
That's after I left.
Yes, I remember now. Ingrid. She had developed a headache, so I went to the pharmacy to find some medication. The trip itself went fine, but when I returned to the hallway, I found myself face to face
With
Wolfgang?
with Joe Garden.
Hold the phone! Toshiko actually saw Wolfgang?
We had a normal, pleasant exchange. He appeared perfectly healthy and even mentioned going to the tournament. Of course, he never made it.
I don't want to be that guy, but can anyone confirm this?
Mm-hmm. I heard them chatting a while in my room. Though I was bedridden like a sitting ghost, I could still make out their voices here and there.
Strange. He told Grace he wouldn't attend the tournament, but then said the opposite to Toshiko.
Sounds like he was telling fibs to conceal his actual intentions.
Fibs?
And what's his true plan supposed to be?
To go to the boiler room. Most likely.
I'm lost. What business would a guy like him have down there?
Why did Wolfgang want to go to the boiler room? That I can also answer. Yeah. It's... this.
This is it. During the investigation, I found this note tucked away inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket. A lot of it is water damaged. The paper looks like it was ripped from a notebook, and the handwriting was done in ink, but some parts are still legible.
This mentions the boiler room.
Exactly. The fact we found Wolfgang in the boiler room, and this note in his pocket, it can't be a coincidence. This note must be the reason Wolfgang went there.
That mention of a secret sure is suspicious. I'm willing to bet Wolfie's reason had something to do with it.
Oh, they're so gonna accuse me when they found out that I had Wolfgang's secret.
Agreeing to meet a stranger in some spooky dark place? Wolfgang had nerves of steel.
Ulysses, Grace, do you remember Wolfgang getting delivered a weird note?
No. The only time I recall him receiving anything was when Tozu distributed those envelopes.
I don't know anything about a note.
Really? Wolfgang shared nothing with you guys?
Guess he didn't want them to know what it said.
Right. And if Wolfgang wanted to keep this note a secret, he would obviously want to keep the meeting a secret too.
Then the reason he told Grace he felt sick
was to remove her from the picture. Yeah, once she's not in the room, Wolfgang has his opportunity to sneak out and head downstairs. That's also why he encouraged her to attend the tournament.
Didn't this same guy ask us to share our blackmail with each other? Talk about double standards.
Wow. Things are really interesting beneath the veil of hypocrisy.
Are we sure he wasn't just trying to protect Grace? Maybe he knew he was meeting someone dangerous, so he thought it would be safer not to involve her.
That does sound like something Wolfgang would do.
Not to interrupt, but on the subject of blackmail, did Wolfgang ever confront the person he had?
Oh? You don't know whose blackmail he got?
Well, if you recall what Wolfgang said originally.
For that reason, I implore you all to speak with the person whose blackmail you have, and them only. Even if the contents of the envelope seem horrible, give the person a chance to explain themselves.
Regardless of the blackmail's contents, it would be treated as a matter between the recipient and the subject of the blackmail, and no one else. Which makes me wonder, could whether or not Wolfgang confronted his person clue us into what had originally been written on that note?
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
If that person somehow realized Wolfgang carried their blackmail, but never came forward about it, they could have demanded Wolfgang show it to them, hence the mention of a secret. However, if Wolfgang did confront his person, I don't see why that same person would then send him a threatening note. Not least act coy about information they both know.
If the person being blackmailed wasn't the one who wrote the note, who was?
Obviously, it would be the student with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, I knew that.
Yes, the secret in question may actually be a reference to Wolfgang's blackmail, not the sender's.
Is there any way to figure out whose secret it is?
We'd probably need to know whose blackmail Wolfgang had first.
Oh, I've got just the idea. Yo! Person who Wolfgang had blackmail on! If he gave you your blackmail back, can you say something?
Don't forget the person with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, Hey! Person who's got Wolfgang's blackmail!
I think if I was in this situation, I would just come out and say it.
If you're innocent, say something already!
When it comes to me, of all people, owning Wolfgang's blackmail, oh yeah, I just forgot to read. Forget that his inner thoughts aren't voiced. Hold on. What, if I'm innocent, I should say something. Would telling everyone I have Wolfgang's blackmail really guarantee my innocence in their eyes? I don't know. Although everyone may follow in my direction during the trial, since they can't ignore the evidence on my side. When it comes to me, of all people, owning Wolfgang's blackmail, how do I know they won't suddenly change their tune? They might chastise me for not revealing his blackmail sooner. Or maybe they'll think I'm confessing and accuse me of murdering him. It's not like I wouldn't be able to refute their arguments, but do I really want to subject myself to all that? Does the trajectory of this trial really depend on whether or not
I was hesitant to admit it, since I knew it would put me on the spot. But I'd rather be suspected than be the reason this trial comes to a standstill.
Are you confessing? Do you have Wolfgang's blackmail?
Nah, not his.
Seriously? Way to be anticlimactic.
However, it's thanks to him that I have my own.
Your own?
Wolfgang approached me the same day everyone received an envelope. Funnily enough, it happened right after I'd finished speaking with my own person. He and we had a good talk. He gave me his envelope and asked me to take care of it, if you need the proof.
Ah, Wolfgang's envelope had the same signature.
Aye. I held on to the letter for safekeeping. This should all been said sooner. I realized that. I suppose my pride was stronger than my rectitude. My mistake for stringing everyone along.
I mean, at least you're honest.
Truth! Thanks for letting us know, bud.
Indeed. To recognize, to acknowledge one's own misdoings is a most virtuous feat, I believe.
Thank you.
Right. It's very noble.
If I revealed my blackmail right now, would everyone here treat me the same? Would they be just as forgiving?
I take it our other blackmail person isn't gonna step forward?
If nothing happens, let's just have everyone recite whose blackmail they got one by one.
Huh? You sure that's a good idea?
No one's reciting shit!
It was only a suggestion. Calm your farm.
No one is reciting shit. Not because it wouldn't be a good idea, but because it annoys me too much. Thank you, Grace.
Even if we knew who had Wolfgang's blackmail, that doesn't necessarily mean they're his killer. It's annoying they won't speak up, sure. But unlike John, they would actually need to reveal Wolfgang's blackmail to prove they have it. This person might just want to respect Wolfgang's request to keep the blackmail between two people, especially now that he's gone.
I don't know. Is it really okay if we never find out?
Circumstantial evidence alone can't prove something beyond a reasonable doubt. If we want to solve this case, we need indisputable evidence.
Yeah. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the box art to help you.
Oh wow. I would never.
The cases, or...
Obviously, the case. The more pieces you connect, the clearer the image you're constructing becomes. The clearer the image, the more you can assume about it.
Okay, well, we haven't gotten anywhere so far.
Do you see what I'm saying? Once we know how Wolfgang died, the rest of this case should fall into place.
That's exactly what I said at the beginning.
You certainly talk a lot stranger than you used to. But I think I get it.
Well, I don't want to be the one to start, but we can all agree Wolfgang was stabbed to death, right?
You what? Stabbed to death?
When I was in the boiler room, I saw a knife bobbing around in the water near him.
No, he wasn't stabbed to death. What are you talking about?
And on the ground, there was blood. Dried blood. On the boiler room floor and on the hallway floor.
That's gotta be Wolfgang's blood, right?
I'm not so sure.
The knife was bloody, so...
Seems like a brawl happened in the hallway. While poor Wolfie was minding his own business, he was confronted by the killer, who attacked him and chased him into the boiler room.
Tozu just stare in the background, super smug, being like, yeah, these kids have no idea what they're doing.
That would line up with how we found him.
killer stabbed Wolfgang in the hallway, then followed him into the boiler room? No, that's not what happened. I need to show everyone where they've gone wrong.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
it was
disagree with
probably
that.
a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind, and the rest is history.
Oh god.
With that knife-wielding villain on his tail, Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler room.
So, the killer entered the boiler room after him, which was when they, you know, ended it.
They don't make sense.
What? Whatever story they're trying to spin here, it's definitely not the truth. You can conclude as much from the crime scene.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways. Yeah, it was probably sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
And the rest is history.
I just want to look at
With
the
that
evidence.
knife-wielding villain on his tail, Wolfgang
How the fuck do I check the evidence?
had no other place to
There
run
we
but the boiler room.
Burn marks all over Wolfgang's hands.
So, the killer entered the boiler room after him, which was when they, you know, ended it.
They don't make sense.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And
Along the underground hallway.
a confrontation must have happened in the hallways. Yeah, it was probably sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
That one from behind.
And the rest is history.
With that knife-wielding
Closet.
villain on his tail, Wolfgang
Tablet.
had no other place to run but the boiler room.
Oh, what is this?
So,
I keep pressing
the
the
killer
wrong button.
entered the boiler room after him. Which
Chosen
was
tablet
when they,
say?
you know, ended it.
I mean, the knife wouldn't have been behind him. Hold on. Oh god, I'm gonna game over again.
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways. Yeah, it was probably sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
No, okay, I guess.
That does not dispute the possibility of a confrontation.
What?
Is this really
Said
how
anything
you
about
guys think
confrontation?
Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Yeah.
It was probably sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang.
Stabbed him from...
Damn it, I missed my chance. If I can get anyone to listen to me. Okay. RIP. I can still turn it around. Okay, well, to be
Is
fair,
this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, the boiler room floor, and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
This is for sure correct.
It was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind, and the rest is history.
But
With that
Wolfgang,
knife-wielding villain on his tail, Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler room.
wait, the storage closets. Yeah. Okay, I got it. No. Don't give me the answer. I wanna figure it out.
Is this... The boy knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to it. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway.
Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind. And the rest is history. With that knife-wielding villain on his tail, Wolfgang
Had no other place to run but the boiler.
No.
Not feeling what you're dealing, bro.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Yeah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
Maybe this? No.
That does not dispute the possibility of a confrontation.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that,
How's the knife
there's
even floating,
blood
by
on
the
the
way?
boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Yeah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
Is it? No.
And
Okay, well I
the
missed
rest is
anyway.
history.
With that knife-wielding villain on his tail, Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler room.
So, the killer entered the boiler room after him.
What is going on? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no way his upper body slumped over the concrete platform if this is the case anyway.
Which was when they, did it.
Is this really how you guys think?
The boy knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to it. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor. And along the underground hallway. A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Yeah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him from behind.
There we go.
No,
Got
that's
it.
wrong.
Got it.
Jed, you talk a lot about the knife and the bloodstains on the floor. But did you ever look at Wolfgang himself?
I gave him a glance. Nothing too deep.
I figured. Had you actually taken the time to look at Wolfgang's back, you would have noticed a clear absence of stab wounds.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair. I mean, the Tozu tablet doesn't say that, though.
In fact, none of the injuries he sustained were the type to cause severe blood loss.
I mean, his cause of death wasn't said anyway, but okay,
Seriously.
sure. Fair enough.
We went over the same thing with Cassidy during the mock trial. Couldn't you give Wolfgang the dignity of a proper investigation?
Hey, man, it's not like I didn't try. It's just, this stuff doesn't come easy, Nobody wakes up thinking they'll have to solve their buddy's murder later.
Isn't that exactly what you should be worrying about in a killing game?
Not everyone has the stomach for investigating. That's fine. That's why you got people like me to do the heavy lifting. Since some of us here weren't able to investigate Wolfgang's body, I'll lay out his injuries. There were 2 marks on the back of his neck, a bruise and a tiny red dot. His hands were burnt too, so 3 injuries in total. Besides that, I caught nothing else.
Burns, you say?
Junior high, my dear Wilson. The killer used a flamethrower.
What is she on about? What is she cooking? Someone tell me.
These didn't look like normal burns. Not the sort you'd get from a stove fire, or a hot iron, or a flamethrower, I suppose.
Contradicting my theory outright? Jeez. So this is the thanks I get for vocalizing my thoughts?
Sorry, lass.
Yes, if I may add on to what John said, the burns actually bore a strong resemblance to what you might see in cases of corona paralysis.
Corona paralysis.
Chiaro. Huh? Ooh, now this I know. Coronoparalysis. It's something which happens to lightning strike victims. Getting struck by lightning is like getting kicked by a horse. The impact is so shocking. Some people will lose all feeling in their limbs for a few hours.
I was aware of lightning paralysis, but even I didn't know its official name. That's a nice head you've got on your shoulder.
Lots of people tend to overlook the importance of lightning safety, especially where I'm from. My grandpappy once tried working out in the open during a thunderstorm. Pure luck's the only reason he lived to see the next day.
Sorry to hear that and all, but what does lightning have to do with anything?
Well, if I had to guess, Ulysses, did it look like a big old tree was drawn on Wolfie?
A big old tree. Yes, that's how I would describe the burns on Wolfgang.
So Wolfgang had lightning strike scars?
We're trapped inside a building, though. Lightning can't come from anywhere.
Could he not have been struck before the killing game? Fate is stronger than will, you know. Perhaps the deity decreed the glow of his altruism from their heavenly abode and felt him a threat.
Nay, those burns were fresh. One look was all it took for me to know that. If he had these scars before, we would have noticed them anyway.
But if those marks were recently inflicted, wouldn't it mean Wolfgang somehow went outside?
Guys. Yeah, no, you're right. Wolfgang just quickly went home to buy groceries and then came back to get killed.
Not necessarily. This is only something I thought of just now, but the reason Wolfgang sustained burns similar to that of lightning strike victims may be because whatever inflicted his burns was equivalent in damage to a lightning strike.
You saying there's something out here channeling the power of lightning?
Something equivalent in damage to a lightning strike. The idea sounded ridiculous, but when I think back on the boiler room, what was inside it? Right, if I take that object into consideration, Ulysses' theory starts to hold some weight. The camera... Oh, yes.
This is it. Ulysses, since you write everything down, do you have a description of the boiler room in your notebook?
Yes, I do. Why?
Since some people here never investigated the crime scene, they probably aren't as familiar with the room as we are. So, you should read out your description of it.
Sure. The boiler room consists of a small concrete platform surrounded by ankle-deep water. Throughout the room are boxes filled with various garbage, and in the back looks to be a generator, charred beyond belief. What you just heard is a brief summary of my notes.
Hear that? There's a generator inside the boiler room. Of all the things which could deal similar damage to a lightning strike, doesn't a generator sound the most likely?
Didn't Ulysses say it was destroyed?
At the time of the investigation, sure. But it wasn't always destroyed. You probably don't remember. But back when we found the dummy, I mentioned something about the underground floor.
Dining hall people, you were in this building before. Tell us what's going on. Yeah, why didn't you mention this other girl? The hell? I never even saw her. Huh? You ordered 2 bargain bin? Don't even. There's a floor below us. That's where I woke up.
To be more specific, it was the boiler room I woke up inside. I hadn't been alone either. Ava was also there.
I woke up first.
Yeah. She did. Anyway, Ava, you agree the generator was in full working condition when we woke up, right?
Right.
So in the time since you woke up there, the generator was destroyed?
It's the only possibility. As for what destroyed the generator, well, it's hard to say for sure. My best guess would probably...
Don't waste my time.
Oh! Winona break?
2 things. First, destroyed is overly vague. Ulysses explained the state of the generator much better. Charred beyond belief. Second, and more importantly, where's your proof the generator inflicted those burns?
What are you talking about? The generator must be involved. It's near where Wolfgang is lying.
Being within range of something counts as proof now, does it? Do you also consider happenstance as conclusive evidence?
Well...
Funny how the standards shift, if so.
That?
Damn it, she's trying to make me look like an idiot. Now let this continue. The others might start to doubt me. I need to stop her before she veers the trial off track. Oh god. Oh no. Oh god. I'm gonna game over at least twice before I figure out the controls on the gamepad. You thought you were the only one with an interjection animation? Think again. Sometimes a student will dislike your argument so much that they will initiate a one-on-one debate with you. We call this rebuttal showdown. During rebuttal showdown, your opponent will fling a flurry of remarks at you, and it's your job to counter them. Use the WSD keys to slice through your opponent's arguments. Naturally, you will slash in the direction of the buttons pressed. What? Slice diagonally, simply press 2 keys at the same time. Be sure to pay close attention to the shape, size, and position of your opponent's remarks, as these will clue you into what direction you should slice. Every time you strike white text, the green side of your screen will shift left to represent your argument succeeding. Likewise, every time you miss white text, the orange side of the screen will shift right to show that your opponent is winning. If you cut through enough remarks, you will advance to the next stage. If you haven't, you'll retreat. If you're somewhere in the middle, you and your opponents will wrestle for control in a short round of cross swords. In order to gain the upper hand, you must rapidly left-click. Now to the meat of the duel, Truth Blades. Similar to non-stop debates, any suspected contradiction will be highlighted in gold. Hold down right-click to slice them apart with a truth blade. Of course, don't start starting the second you see gold. Assess the validity of the remark and check you have the correct truth blade equipped. Now, let's not keep Winona waiting any longer. To battle. Alright.
While
okay.
the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed.
Vance.
What about the blackout? It's impossible for the generator to cause the blackout. If it was already broken prior to the tournament.
What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder.
No! How cut through those words!
Okay, that wasn't so bad.
When the blackout happened, it froze a piece of equipment which had been set up for the game tournament, Mark's DJ pad. While there was no physical clock inside the dining hall, a digital one has been built into Mark's pad. If you look at what time the digital clock is frozen on, it matches the time of death listed on the tablet.
Well, Mark, is this true?
There's no point in me saying anything when someone else has already said it better.
Just answer with a yes or no, will you?
Yes.
In any case, the matching times are too much of a coincidence. The destruction of the generator caused the blackout, and the blackout occurred at the time of the murder. There's no way the destruction of the generator wasn't tied to Wolfgang's death.
What do you suppose happened then?
I'm willing to bet the generator's destruction resulted in the boiler room's water becoming electrified. Since Wolfgang was discovered kneeling in the water, you can reason he was standing in it at the time this happened, and...
Damon, you and I both know that's not true.
Huh?
Did you forget? It's impossible for the water in the boiler room to play a role in Wolfgang's murder, because it isn't even conductive.
It's not?
After Damon and I woke up in the boiler room, I wanted to investigate the flooded area. So, I tested the water.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Ava approach the pallet boxes and fish out a light bulb. And without hesitation, pop, she chucked it into the water.
I even redid my test during the investigation, since Damon wasn't sure if he should touch Wolfgang's wet clothes. In both instances, I proved the water was safe to enter. To be honest, neither result really surprised me. Water will only act as a conductor if it makes contact with two separate energy sources.
Yes.
The boiler room's generator is just one source.
What if there was a second source, though?
If you're standing in the water, one outlet should be enough.
What if Wolfgang brought back like batteries from his trip to the grocery store?
Speaking from experience, large bodies of water are terrifying conductors during storms. All it takes is one lightning bolt, and the surrounding miles are scorched.
But the generator is a slow, persistent source of electricity. It's not the same as a lightning strike.
Electricity is electricity. Doesn't matter how it manifests.
I mean, it kinda does.
The reason you two avoided electrocution is because the generator's exposed wires aren't even touching the water.
Oh, so maybe this is where the like cutoff cord comes in.
If they were, you would have been scorched right from the start.
Maybe when the generator was destroyed, some of the wiring fell into the water?
Nah, even in its current sorry state, the generator's wires are nowhere near the water.
It doesn't make sense for the generator to pose a danger anyway. The point of the killing game is for the students to kill each other, not for the facility to kill the students.
Wolfgang just clicked the wrong button and electrocuted himself. Case closed.
A feature of the building killing a student would be a meaningless death because you can't attribute a student killer to it.
As for why the
I'll tell that
generator's
to
been
Monokuma.
charred, sometimes electrical faults happen. Even my ship's engines have broken under particularly relentless storms. And if an electrical fault caused Wolfgang's death, then his murder is purely on the hosts, ain't it?
Of course! If we were responsible for his death, you lot wouldn't be here discussing it.
Is the generator really unrelated to the case? By the timing of the blackout, it's too perfect. It can't be a coincidence.
Okay, since we've ruled out the generator, what else could have electrocuted Wolfgang?
It mightn't be relevant, but I did see one other thing on the boiler room floor. A toy gun or something. At least, that's how it came across to me.
Right, the taser.
Not a toy gun, a taser gun.
A taser? I'll shoot electricity!
I'm not sure how the taser fits in with this case, though. It doesn't seem to have been used.
Nope. The taser was definitely used.
How so? I didn't catch any sort of string protruding from it.
Not all taser guns release a string when fired. Some are completely wireless. For those types, you can tell they've been used if their blast doors are missing. Side note, blast doors are plastic panels which cover the muzzle of a taser. If a shot is fired, they pop clean off.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
When I was investigating the crime scene, I found the taser gun in one spot and its blast doors in another. Speaks for itself, yeah?
And here I was thinking the yellow bits were just random trash.
So, that makes me think that he's not the killer. Because if he was, he would have just lied about that.
Where the heck did a taser gun even come from? Last time I checked, There weren't any lying around in the storage closets.
Maybe it belongs to someone here.
Huh?
Just think about it for 1 second. Everyone here has a dorm room which is themed around their talent. Mine's got DJ equipment. Jet's got car batteries. If that's what we have with our talents, what could someone with a dangerous talent have?
Are you talking about, like, knives and stuff? What? Is there something on my face?
Forget this. The person I'm talking about is Desmond.
Huh? No way! You think the gun is Desmond's?
Yeah.
Hang on. Got it all mixed up.
Jean, do you know anything about this? As Desmond's roommate, perhaps you spotted something inside his door.
Alas, we stayed in my abode. I couldn't tell you if he had weapons.
Talk about suspicious.
Did Desmond agree to bunk in Jean's dorm so Jean wouldn't see the weapons in his?
Listen, I get where you guys are coming from, but that taser gun, it's not mine. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, I think it would be a bit strange for the ultimate huntsman to just... Do you use tasers in hunting?
No, that's a lie.
A lie?
It's attain to feign ignorance won't fool me, not when I know the truth. Oh, okay. Who's Desmond is lying? His talent, his charisma, his blackmail. Yes, it's blackmail.
The
The one
blackmail tools you
Ava gave us.
That's my evidence.
The ultimate marksman, not a hunter? Okay, fair. I guess I didn't realize that would include using tasers, but fair enough.
You didn't get mine, did you?
No. But the person who did informed me of what it said.
His weapon at hand, Desmond guards the only one he trusts.
Your writing style seems to match. I think it's legit.
That's more than a little suspicious, don't you think? Leaving a bunch of weapons unguarded during a killing game?
Don't judge me. This is the first time I'm hearing of it too.
You didn't know there were weapons in your room?
Yep, no idea.
Our rooms aren't particularly subtle in their theming. Are we supposed to believe yours is any different?
It is themed. I'm not denying that. But I sure as hell didn't catch sight of any weapons. If I did, do you seriously think I'd leave them unguarded and risk being found out?
Yeah. Desmond cares too much about everyone. He pointed out the broken doorknobs and gave us the idea to bunk together.
And the prologue,
Why
he says
would he
he can
hide
use...
weapons in his room?
And the prologue, he says he can use any ranged weapon perfectly? Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent, and found the taser gun hidden inside. There's no other way to explain it.
So while Desmond gets a bunch of guns, all I get is an old game console and a dead controller.
Take the bad with the good, dearest pupil. No one fears game consoles. Well, no one besides parents in the religiously inclined.
Religiously inclined. Wait, suddenly Tozu is based?
Enough talking about consoles. Why are you guys believing Desmond so easily? If the taser gun belongs to him, then he's the killer. Any argument he makes against it...
I mean, she is right. Like, if he was the killer, he can just lie. Tozu was always based, that's true.
...is just a flimsy excuse!
Alright. More non-stop debates.
Desmond is the killer! The taser gun came from his room!
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
Because you wanted to draw attention away from your weapons hoard!
But... If this is about avoiding suspicion, why did Desmond say the taser gun was fired? I don't think a killer would draw attention to their own murder weapon.
Yeah, I agree.
I was with Desmond.
I call it reverse psychology.
Reverse psychology?
You sprinkle in a little helpfulness, and suddenly everyone trusts you.
When the murder happened,
Is Desmond innocent? When I compared the evidence to everyone's statements,
Desmond is the killer! The taser gun came from his room!
I had no idea the gun even existed.
spots,
I was barely in my dorm to
gun.
begin with.
Because you wanted to draw attention
blackout.
away from your weapons hoard!
Yeah, blackout, right?
But if this is about avoiding suspicion,
Wait, I need to reread.
why did Desmond
what
say the
blackout
taser
says.
gun was fired?
Yeah.
I don't think a killer would draw attention to their own murder weapon.
Was for Desmond.
I got it.
Consent.
Regardless of whether or not Desmond knew about the gun,
Wait,
he definitely wasn't involved in the murder.
was there a pathos? Could I have taken pathos there, or... I don't think I missed any red text, did I? Pathos is later? Okay, fair.
Eloise can back me up on this.
right. Desmond and I, we were together in the courtyard at the time of Wolfgang's death.
I see. Then both of you can be ruled out as suspects.
Can enter pathos sections when Damon starts getting doubtful and emotional. Yeah, currently is
Don't just take her word
so
for
cool.
it. She could be covering for Desmond.
Jeez, if you have a bone to pick with these guys, at least save it for when we're not solving a murder.
Yeah. Why don't you want to believe Eloise?
Ever since the investigation, these two yuppies have been on my case non-stop. They're obviously working together.
Not gonna lie, I see where Grace is coming from. When Eloise tried to single her out earlier, Desmond was pretty quick to jump in and agree.
Even so.
Wait, are they... Are they seriously making the argument that they're working together? Like the one game where you're almost guaranteed to not have accomplices because of how the game works.
Since the topic has been brought up, I would like to mention something. During my trip to the pharmacy, I believe I saw Desmond and Eloise in the courtyard together.
You also said you were back in the hallways around 8-10 a.m., didn't you? That means those two were wandering around unsupervised. Either one of them could have left the courtyard.
If Desmond was the killer, what would Eloise gain from defending him? Should the wrong vote be cast, nothing about the rules suggests an accomplice of the killer would be exempt from execution.
That's right! And even if she was exempt, Eloise is too nice to be an accomplice to murder.
Diana is playing pathos and like from beginning to end.
Grace, I realize Desmond's irked you, but that's no reason to keep steering everyone down a dead end. Let's move on.
A person who's always steering others down a dead end, huh? I guess they needed a GPS.
Alright, fair enough. Didn't know I
Anyway, we should
clicked that.
totally thank Desmond for clearing things up now. Not only do we know he's not the killer, now we know how the killer got their hands on the taser.
Now we know how... What?
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent, and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Yup, that is word for word what Desmond said.
Right. Good memory.
All in a day's work, baby!
The baby wasn't even like
Can you repeat that quote, Cassidy?
Again? But I just said it.
Yeah, but I want you to say it again.
Alright. Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Is there something on your mind?
If Desmond's testimony is anything to go by, then wouldn't this mean the culprit has to be male?
What?
If I remember correctly, All the guys were aware of each other's pairings. With that sort of knowledge, a male student could try and infiltrate another male student's dorm.
None of us knew which room we'd be bunking in.
It only takes a quick peek to check if someone's inside or not. Anyone could have done that.
And who's to say the thief didn't barge in before we started bunking?
Or while people were having breakfast.
Seems there was a mountain of opportunities for our culprit to sneak in unnoticed. Doesn't exactly help us narrow things down, does it?
Well, guess this taser gun was a bust.
Look on the bright side. If it's been fired, then it's probably what electrocuted Wolfie.
Yeah, the bright side.
If trying to suss out who stole it isn't feasible, why don't we talk about Wolfie's other injuries instead? You know, the ones that weren't burn marks? Those seem like they could lead us somewhere.
Yeah. Besides the burns on his hands, Wolfgang also had a bruise and a tiny red dot on the back of his neck.
A bruise and a tiny dot, huh? Want to try tackling them in alphabetical order?
Alphabetical order? Now, aren't you full of smart ideas?
She is a genius.
No need to thank me. It's only common sense.
I love that they all happily accept that a taser of all things is powerful enough to cause lightning burns. Yeah, like a taser is definitely not meant to cause that sort of damage.
Okay, let's discuss the bruise first.
Okay. I think I'm gonna call it here for today. And then finish the trial tomorrow or something? That sounds reasonable. Do you know, Retro, do you know how much, like how far in we are? 20%? 30%? So you have to estimate. I think they said something about having 11 non-stop debates, and we've done 3, so we should be about roughly in between 20 and 30%. But of course, there's, I'm assuming, still loads of minigames that we haven't seen yet. Or, well, loads. I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 more. Or about 20%? Okay, I can live with that. There's a lot more to go. Yeah, so... Okay, well, we'll see how far we get tomorrow. If not, then it'll even require 2 more streams. But yeah, I'll head off for the night. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is certainly getting more and more interesting. I'm also starting to really appreciate the writing in this game. I think they did a phenomenal job. A lot of the thoughts that I'm having, the characters are like also having, and that's like something that wasn't the case as much with Danganronpa. It's pretty cool. But yeah, alright. Thank you everyone. See you later, tomorrow or some other day. And yeah, have a good rest of your night. Bye bye.